There once was a very wealthy man who was searching for inner peace. So he set out on the journey, went to meet various sages, and they told him what to do, yet he couldn't find this inner peace he so desperately wanted. When he was leaving one town after meeting with the sage, he met a madman, and this madman, nobody listens to him. They said, he's mad. And this madman said, I see that you're struggling to find this inner peace, and nobody listens to me. But if you want to listen to me, I know a sage who can help you. And the man said, all right, well, let's see. We'll try it out. So he set off on his horse, and he took a big bag of diamonds with him. And he arrived in this town where this supposed sage is. And he met the sage under a tree on his big horse. And he saw the sage, and the sage's name was Mullah Nasruddin. So the mullah looked at him, he looked at the mullah, and he said to the mullah, I believe you can give me inner peace. And the mullah said, sure, I can give you inner peace. The man thought, what kind of idiot is this? Nobody else claimed that they can give me inner peace. They tried me exercises. But this man says he can give me inner peace. So he says, I've tried all these different things. And they told me to feed people and do charity and build hospitals, but I never got this inner peace. What makes you so sure you can give me this inner peace? He said, never mind, let me show you. Get down from your horse. As he got down from the horse, he said, well, what's in your bag? He said, it's a bag full of diamonds. And in this bag, these diamonds, I will give them to the person that can give me inner peace. And he said, why are you holding that bag so close to your chest? He said, well, they're very valuable. And that's how much I value inner peace. In a moment, the mullah grabbed the bag of diamonds and started running. He started running and running and running. And this man was shocked. He said, well, this man's a thief. He's stolen my stuff, stolen my most valuable diamonds. So he said, well, I might as well chase after him. So he started chasing after the mullah, running through the streets. And of course, it was Mullah's town, so he knew all the back roads and all the ways to go. And as he's running, people behind him are not stopping him. Nobody's stopping him. And this man is running, and his tears are streaming from his eyes. And he said, I can't believe this man has stolen all my life's fortune, you know. And he was just sweating and running. He'd never run so much in his life. And he said to the people of the town, what kind of town is this? You don't stop this thief? And the people said, that's no thief. That's the sage. That's Mullah Nasruddin. Either way, he kept on running, kept on running. He was crying, tears rolling down. He finally ended up finding Mullah sitting under the tree where the horse was with the bag of diamonds. Surprised he was. Mullah said, here, you take the diamonds. So he took the bag and he held it close to his heart. And the mullah said, how does that make you feel? He says, makes me feel very peaceful. He said, so mullah said, well, I've given you your inner peace. And this wealthy man said, you're a very strange man and you have very strange ways. But how did you do it? Because I have inner peace. He said, simple mathematics. You take for granted what you have. So when I take it away from you, you feel a longing for it. And when I give it back to you, and you realized how much you loved it, you have peace now. And this is the process of life that we undergo as well. We're searching for inner peace, and we're looking here and there, but we never look inside ourselves and realize all the things that we have. So we keep on running away from it, taking for granted what we have. It's just how we're biologically wired, always striving for more and doing more. But yet this moment has got all the gifts you could ever desire and everything that you ever want. But we don't have that ability to see this moment for what it is. So let me share with you some of my recent reflections. That finding inner peace, finding joy, living a blissful life is all very complicating business, it seems. And the more we try, the more it runs away from us. So I was thinking, what am I doing wrong? Why is it that whatever I try to get out there and do, even yoga, meditation, this chatter in my mind doesn't stop? And I don't seem to be finding this place of stillness inside of myself. Of course, I'm very well read far and wide, and had many teachers. But I didn't realize that the central issue that I was facing was staring me right in the face. What was I looking for out there or in me that I couldn't possibly find? What is in this moment that I can't see? Why can't I see it? If it's God, stillness, awareness, is all right here, why can't I see it? Right? My eyes are working, brain is working, heart's working, but I can't see it. I can't feel it. Why not? Well, what I was looking at all these things and in myself was a conditioned mind. A mind that came with a certain operating system and package that I didn't choose. Although when I was born, I didn't come with this operating system. And somehow it was installed in me, or I took it on. And so the mind, with all its opinions and perceptions and ideas, was veiling me from seeing the moment for what it is. Now, if you had to remove your mind from this moment and let thoughts go, there's a great uneasiness felt. Like, what do I do now? Where to next? Because the mind is in the future. It's never here. Always looking ahead. Even if you try to meditate, what am I going to do after? I forgot to do this, I forgot to do that. So what is the content of mind, of your mind? Thoughts, perceptions, feelings. It's past. It's old stuff, right? It's stuff you've experienced, stuff you've perceived, stuff you've understood, stuff you've seen, heard, tasted, smelt. That's all the known. It's what you know. And the past is what you know. And the future is created as a projection of the past. So you're looking in the environment and in yourself for what you already know, right? So I know what inner peace looks like. I know what love looks like. So when I see a person, that's what love looks like. Inner peace, well, it must be meaning I'm feeling like this and like that. How do you know all those things? Previous experience. When I was like this, then I felt peace. So the mind is old. Nothing new. It's all the old. Everything that's happened in the past. And the future is yet to happen. But what we do is, what I do is I project the past that's in my mind onto the future. Do you get that? So I project. So for instance, if I've walked 3 steps, then I know where the 4th step's going to be, just by experience. Now, you're looking for something in you that was there, but you can't see. But if you look in the known for things you want to experience in the future, then what you're doing is that you're simply carrying out your day as it was yesterday. And as this moment is now, you're projecting that onto the next moment. But every moment is actually fresh. So if you want to encounter something radical, something inspiring, something blissful, something joyful, something deeply peaceful. You haven't found it, right? I haven't found it in what I've done. So if it's not where I've looked for it in my mind and in my experiences, then it must be in the unknown, the new, the uncharted. Because it's not in the known. I've looked. So then to take a step into the unknown takes courage. Because what happens if you say, I don't know what's coming next? Immediately fear arises. The fear of, well, I don't know if I'm ready for what comes next. So we hesitate and we retreat to the old. So we claim we want to know the new, the unknown, God, inner peace, but we're too afraid. Because what happens if you can't handle it? You can't handle the truth, as they say. You'd become overwhelmed. How will you cope? But what you're not realizing, what I didn't realize, is that each moment will present as it's meant to. And it's not old. It's new. So we saw that with COVID, right? So we thought life will carry on as it was. And then bang, this virus, everybody's wearing a mask, everyone's locked in their houses. Now, you were too busy, I was too busy predicting how I'm going to grow my company, how I'm going to do this, how we're going to go on the trip. And I was only choosing places and things and experiences from what I knew, right? Because how else would I plan a new trip, right? So I want to go to a place. What do? Google it, right? Because it's the known. How many of us can say, I'll just go to the airport and say, what flight can I book, and get on the plane? That's terrifying because it's unknown. But then we couldn't plan for COVID, but it came. So then we were thrown in the situation we couldn't manage. So how did we manage? We managed. Did we cope? We did. Some of us didn't. Because some of us were so overwhelmed by the new that they either took their lives or divorced their partners or ran away. Well, they couldn't run very far because the whole world was in lockdown. So, if you want to experience something you've never experienced before in the known world, you're going to have to take a step into the unknown. Now, when you were born, you were living in the unknown. Every experience was a new experience, correct? Have you seen a child eating an ice cream? There is nothing else in existence but the ice cream. He or she is licking at the strawberry flavors. He doesn't even call it that, but they don't know the name. Chocolate and vanilla. I'm saying that to you so you can recognize it. But we weren't giving names back then. We were so engaged in feeling the taste and the sugar and all the other types of things. It was almost like an orgasmic experience. Now, of course, these days, orgasm is something bad. But it was orgasmic. You were one with the ice cream. And the difference with the child and you eating an ice cream is the child does not have expectations, requirements, even what is going to taste like. It's brand new, virgin territory. This ice cream, you hold it to their faces and they totally fresh. Like, wow, what's going to happen now? And they take that lick and they are there, fresh, brand new. And the whole world disappears. And the only thing that's seen is this ice cream. Doesn't even call it ice cream. It's just this thing. It's not even a thing. So then we learned this is what ice cream tastes like. And we have a chocolate ice cream. And then we go to eat a chocolate ice cream somewhere else. And then we compare and we say, this doesn't taste like the other chocolate ice cream. This doesn't make me feel like that other ice cream. See what's happening? The mind is getting conditioned by past experience. So now you're eating the best ice cream in the world and you're tasting it, but there's too much baggage there. It's not just you and the ice cream anymore. It's everything else. All these experiences that you can compare to, and your mind is wandering. And it's not new. It's old. It's not unknown. It's known. So if you want adventure that you say you want, and you want joy for life, that can't be in what you already know already, can it? Because you've done the trips, you've done a different job, you've made money, you've lost money, you've had health, you've lost health. But that feeling that you long for, feeling of aliveness. So Joseph Campbell said, he said that I believe that people are not here to find their purpose. People are here to align themselves with what makes them feel truly alive. So to feel truly alive means to be entirely here in this moment, brand new, unconditioned, unthought, unlabeled, raw, new. Now, the conditioned mind looks at the unknown and the new as tormenting, as dangerous, as treacherous, as uneasy. But a child, how does it look at the world? Does it look at the ice cream and say, oh, I think I've got lactose intolerance, or, you know, if I eat this ice cream, then I'll gain some carbs, and, you know, or, you know, the last time I had an ice cream, I vomited. All past experience, all coming in to this ice cream. Now you can't find joy. Of course, if you want to feel alive, if you want to feel ecstatic, then you have to be one with the ice cream. And you can't be one with the ice cream if your mind is coming along. Can you? So what does it take that the child has that you had, that you lost? A sense of adventure, a sense of wonder, a sense of excitement for the unknown. But what does that take? Trust. Trust in yourself. Look at the child. It will do the craziest things. And mom and dad will be, don't do that, son or daughter, you're going to get hurt. What are we doing? Programming the child already. So now the child says, well, I better not do that because mom said I'll get hurt. So then we're not really living. We're teaching them to become fearful and afraid of the unknown. And so it's no wonder we're so afraid of the unknown. But the unknown is going to come, whether you like it or not. So you can fear it, or you can embrace it and be adventurous about it. But that requires courage. But we say we want to be happy. No, we don't. We want to be the same. We become so familiar with pain, with suffering, this drama, that there's a whole thing about, oh, I can live without any problems, and I can thrive in this moment and just feel so damn alive. No, you don't want it. You don't. Be honest. Because if you did, you'd say, all right, what do we need to do? Okay, leave your mind out and dive into this experience. Unknown. Get on a flight, go somewhere. Get in a car, drive to an unknown place. Go to the place and speak to some stranger. Wear some funny clothes. Play in the dirt. Roll in the grass. You gonna do it? No. It's like, oh, that sounds a bit like, oh, wow, yeah, that's a bit crazy, you know, because I'm a grown person and we don't do shit like that. Well, that's why you're miserable. So you're trying to intellectually and logically and analytically find your meaning and your bliss and your joy and your inner peace, and you can't. It does not happen through the conditioned mind because it's all the known. What's there to experience in adventure? So that leads me up to the next point. If you want this and you're prepared to let go of the past experiences, knowledge, knowing, then you can have to take a dive into outside of the conditioned past, which is in the mind. So the Zen masters talk about no mind. What they mean is that you ignore, you discard everything you know, everything, so that everything becomes fresh again. It's not going to be easy because the mind's going to say, well, yeah, I know this, and I've had this for lunch anyway, it's the same meal, right? So it's a training, because you've trained yourself to become so mundane and so repetitive and pattern seeking. It's going to be a new thing, and it's going to feel unfamiliar, and it's going to terrify you because you're letting go and you're going into the unknown. But as a child, why didn't it bother you? A child has no experience with life. Tiny little scrawny little thing that can at any moment fall over and die. Weak, fragile. But it's got pure courage. It will do the craziest, what we call crazy. That's called living, by the way. It'll get hurt. It will go 2 minutes later, get back on the same thing that caused them the pain. Why does it have that and you don't? As we grow up, we got so much experience. We're big, we're stronger, we're smarter, we're wiser, but we're so full of fear for the unknown. Yeah, as a child, we're entirely vulnerable, entirely easily hurt in every way. But here we are, fearless. And as we grow older with all this experience, we're afraid of the unknown. So think about that. Now, to be in, if you want this bliss, this joy, this great clarity, then you have to learn how to become one with the moment. So you become the moment, fully in the moment, in anything you do, and to leave the mind out. Now that's not easy, but it's not difficult either. So you are present, fully present, with the ice cream, and you are absent of any previous experience, as if though you've experienced brain hemorrhage. If you lost all your memories, you don't know what anything feels like, tastes like, looks like, thinks like, and then you pick up that ice cream, and then you say, what is this? No, it's a bit of acting, right? Because you've already numbed yourself to know where everything is, and everything's mundane to you. But this ice cream is one of the most pleasurable experiences you could find. Of course, if you're lactose intolerant and have 1,000 other type of thing, get a vegan, no milk, all that kind of stuff. But be one with the experience and be fresh as a virgin. Be virgin about it. Virgin's only attached to the sexual connotation, but it's the virgin mind. It's the brand new mind. It's the no mind. It's just open. It's so in this moment. It's so excited about the future. I wonder what this will taste like. It's fully there. Fully alive. And you disappear, I promise you. When I practice this, the joy, the feelings, I follow that taste into my mouth, into my belly, and I chew every morsel, and I'm totally there, and I disappear. So you become the ice cream. Now imagine if you brought this to your relationship. Brand new. Who is this person? Wow, look at those eyes they've got. Look at that smile. Did you notice that when you smile, that part of your lip moves up? Of course, they would be thinking you're nuts. Most of the time, they're going to be, wow, I like this new you, right? Because otherwise, you're just seeing the same person all the time. Even if you've been with someone for a month, after a month, you're like, oh, okay, there he is, there she is. So it starts bringing magic back. Mystery, adventure. But you have to be willing to commit to yourself, because the old conditioned patterns are so familiar, you'll retreat back. So it takes time, it takes practice, and it takes accountability, and that's what I do. So if you want to become the state of no mind and to experience life afresh again, I have all the tools and techniques that I've researched. You know why? Because I used to be miserable, and I still can be. And depressed, and sad, and consumed, and worried, and afraid, and judgmental, and all those things. And that was part of me, and I accepted. So I had to do a lot of work, and I read very far, and I practiced and practiced and practiced until I arrived at that state. Now, it's not a permanent state. I ain't no Zen master, some great Sufi master where I'm sitting there. Oh, I'm sitting on a fountain of bliss, and every moment is bliss, 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 bliss. Bullshit. There isn't such a person like that. If there is, I haven't met. I've seen the most pious, the most spiritual of people lose their shit. I know Eckhart Tolle is telling a story about this Zen monk in Thailand, and in the village where he was practicing his meditation. It was incredible. Not even the mosquitoes or the flies or the smells or the heat, nothing would bother him. Then he had to go travel to America, and he had to go to Bangkok to get a visa. And he lost his shit, right? I mean, here's the perfect Zen monk screaming and shouting, saying, what's wrong with these people? It's, such long lines, and it's impossible. So that's humanness. And the difference is, right? This is the big difference. That even with your anger, you become one with your anger. You become the anger. When you're joyful, you become the joy. When you're sad, you become the sadness you shouldn't avoid. This is something that I had to learn the hard way. I was like, oh, I shouldn't feel that way. No, feel it fully. Now, how do I have proof of this? Look at a child. When you don't get a child what it wants, it's so angry, it's so consumed with rage. It just will scream and shout. It's totally angry. And that's the natural state of being. Because in a moment, it's over. Oh, well, what's happening? What do? We're not total. So it's in our mind, and it's guilt, and it's shame, and I shouldn't have reacted like that. I'm so sorry. And apologizing and retreating, and saying I shouldn't be like that, and all these judgments. And now you can't even get angry properly. So then what happens? People develop this sarcasm. So they mask their anger, and it builds up like an ugly black tar inside of them. Instead of being fully angry, they become sarcastic and sadistic and cynical. Because they don't know how to be fully angry. So, become fully angry. Become fully joyful. But when you're joyful, then you can't bring in thoughts and, but I can't really be joyful. You be joyful. Takes practice. So, I'm very excited. Very excited. And I'm so scared about the future. But I'm still going ahead. You see, it's not the lack of fear. Have the fear. But take the step. You know why? Because I'm done. I want something more. And I felt it, and I've tasted it, and I like the taste of it. When that ice cream becomes brand new, why would you want to live in a mundane, boring, predictable world? It's pointless. So I want it. And I get it more and more. Most of the time. And the more you get it, the more you want it. So have no mind. And have not no expectation, a lot of expectation of tremendous adventure for the future. And learn to trust yourself. And this is not something that you do logically. Oh, you should trust yourself. Oh, yeah, he's right, I should trust myself. But you don't trust yourself. Because there's conditioning. And you haven't explored your fears. Because you're afraid to explore your fears. But fears pretend like they're real, and they want you to hide away. And you hide away. So of course, you can't feel free because you're afraid. So you have to go into your fears, understand what you're really afraid of, and then fill up a big bag of courage. All these are practices to do. They're not statements to analyze and say, oh, yeah, good point. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, I'll do that. No, it's about practice, practice, practice. You've conditioned yourself unconsciously to feel sad, to feel grief, to feel worried, to feel this, to feel that. You think they're just going to leave? So Eckhart Tolle says so beautifully, he says, you've been practicing absence all your life. How can you be present? So this being present is like the strange thing. be present. Yeah, I'm present and present. Oh no, there's my mind. I can't be present. Of course you can't be. So what are you practicing when you're not present? Absence. So you become a master at absence. So have I. I'm absent 90% of the time. Is that my fault? No, nobody's to blame. But to change that requires practice, right? And it requires courage. Because it's unknown, right? But when you embrace that and you're ready and you say, bring it on, and you see in the experience that you were still fine even though you did something daring, then you have more adventure spirit in you and you start building up more courage. So it's the process of unlearning, knowing your blocks, and then relearning with practice, the right kind of practice. Because if you're sitting there just doing affirmations and saying, I need to be positive, I need to be positive, the grass is green, the grass is green, the grass will still be brown. And you'd go looking for green grass, and then something else will come up. Something always comes up. Think about what's consuming you right now. Relationship, health, money, loss of someone, something, job. That problem gets resolved. It may take 5 days, it may take 20 years. And then you realize, my God, here I was concerned about this and this ended up happening. So whatever you're worried about is pointless. But of course, you don't know better. This is a conditioning. So it requires courage, requires practice, right practice. And then you start living it. You don't talk about it anymore. And you become a glow of light that people see and they want to be around you. You don't mind being in company. You don't mind being alone. That's when you know you're progressing. So, I would love to take you on this journey into joy, into bliss. And to go with me means to trust yourself. And in the beginning, all you have to rely on is trust in me. So, see if you can trust me. And if you can trust yourself enough to trust me, then we may begin. It's going to be unfamiliar. It's going to be scary. But what's on the other side? Freedom. It's what you want. Freedom is not leaving your partner or making $1 million. It's freedom to be you. What is that you? The unconditioned you. And that takes an eye and a perception that is seen through a lot of my own bullshit to be able to see your bullshit. That's how it is. So, when you're ready for an adventure, grab a bag of courage. Let's get started. Hope to see you soon.